weeping on his shoulder and told him like he just saved my life. 2 weeks later, I went to India. What I experienced there was something that I just didn't expect to experience. And we were doing investigation work at these brothels, and then we got there, we saw the owner, and they just basically asked him like, hey, what is your cost to own a girl? And his standard price tag was 10,000 rupees, which is about $200 Canadian for 1 life. We rescued 4 girls that night. And out of those 4 girls was this girl named Sunita. She just shared to me, you find the most beautiful things in the darkest places. You have to go through darkness to find light. And so she said, like, you need both darkness and light to see beauty. I shared about this idea of doing something, and she really encouraged me to move forward with it. And so I came back to Trinity, and then we launched Lighthouse. The name Lighthouse Voyage definitely comes from what Sunita shared. A lighthouse being a safe place to call home, but it's also a place to start a new voyage in life. And Trinity was a huge part of helping us grow in the beginning stages, and we wouldn't be here now without that foundation. I never thought the Lighthouse would be 10 years in. So we've been able to help over 933 individuals come out of exploitation, and we've been able to build 2 safe homes. And I'm really thankful with what God's given. Like my wife, my daughter, this home, to live another day and having the freedom that I have is enough for me.
Please welcome from the class of 2017, David Punnamannil. Congratulations, sir. Excellent. Here's your reward. Come on over, David. David, your video is, I've watched it a few times, and it's hard to get through each time. Thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you. And you shared in your video how Trinity came into your life at such a pivotal time. How did your experience at Trinity give you the foundation to even step into justice work in the first place and ultimately to launch Lighthouse?
Oh man, well, I'm just humbled to be here, and what a beautiful evening today is. Yeah, again, I would say let's clap for that. It's so beautiful. Actually, I was actually traveling Europe and backpacking, and when my sister-in-law actually told me to check out Trinity, and I looked online. I was in Ireland, and I was like, oh, I loved the international studies program, and I was really interested in that, and so I applied. I was pretty late, wasn't sure I was going to get it. I got in, and I canceled my backpacking trip and came here, and it was the best decision I've made. I would say for me I was really passionate about the issue of human rights. I seen the differences from where I grew up and then when I moved to Canada. And I was sitting in a Paul Rowe class, and I was really challenged by what he was sharing there, and I just wanted to do something with my hands. And so right after that class, that semester, I decided to go to India. And so, Trinity's been a huge foundation. Actually, our first event that we did, which I had no idea what we were doing, no idea how to start an organization, but we launched it with a bunch of Trinity Western students, and that came in and partnered along, and we actually did it right in here in this space. It looks totally different now, but but we did it here. Our first event, we bought 6 Costco cakes, only used 1, and but it was start of something, and it was Trinity helped set that foundation for us.
So, David, you're also very open in the video about your deep personal brokenness that you went through, and then you went to India and you encountered more darkness, and you witnessed that firsthand in such horrible ways. What gave you the courage to keep moving forward through those dark moments?
Yeah, I think courage is not absent with fear. There's always fear. And so for me, actually, you build courage every time, because you're going through fear. And that's what courage is. I don't know why I'm always. And so, seeing the girls and their stories, that's courage, because you're seeing them, and it's also fear, because there's a lot that's going through. And for me, I think that's this balance I've found, and that I'm finding my courage now is rooted in Christ, and it's something I also learned that from here. But it is okay to have that fear and courage be together. And so, there's a story. I'll share a story. We were able to rescue 3 girls and bring them to this home. Their father was exploiting them and selling them for sexual exploitation in that neighborhood. Hearing the story, I just can't imagine what's going through these girls' lives. But there's courage. And when they're now in the home, they're being loved by the mothers and the other girls. Their life is being radically changed. Their dignity is returned. Their future that they thought was once lost we've taken it back for them. I find that's courage and fear together. And so I think it's just this balance. Yeah.
So now you're 10 years in, and Lighthouse has helped over 900 individuals find freedom from slavery. David, when you think about acting justly, how do you see this calling shaping the lives of those that you're serving, and also your own walk with God?
Yeah, I think justly is you're seeing the other individual before you see yourself. I think I heard, I actually recently heard this story. I don't know if you guys heard about the 52 hertz whale. Have you heard about the 52? So there's this whale, and the frequency the whale speaks, they found out in research that it speaks in this 52 hertz, and it's the only whale in the world that speaks in that. And so it's lost, it's alone, it's trying to find its community, but they're not able to connect because they speak in different frequencies. And I feel like acting justly is to see those individuals, and the 52 hertz. And so for there's darkness that comes through in our lives, but I think it's always this time of preparation for a great light. And so we're going through darkness, but it's a preparation for a great light. And so as we move in this time, I think my biggest challenge has always been what are we doing as individuals to help other individuals through the gifts that we have given us. And I think the one story that has really impacted me in that is there's this individual named Josiah Wedgwood, and he was part of the abolition movement, and he was really impacted by William Wilberforce. And he was just this, fine china maker, and he made china for the royal family, And on this, he was just so impacted what Wilberforce was doing, and he asked himself, what can I do to make a difference to the gifts that I have given to me? And he made this set where on the first things that the royal family saw was this engraving that's of an individual shackled on the ground, and it says, am I a slave or am I a brother? And so my thoughts was, and my challenge to everyone would be, you know, hey, like God has given us gifts and talents. How are we using that so that we can see the other individuals that are there and to make a difference? And so to be someone like Josiah Wedgwood, yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, David. One more round of applause for David. We've had the winking tuna fish, and now we've got the whales. So for those of you playing Marine Life Bingo, you've got 2 squares.